Welcome back to another video. Hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today I've got here the OREI 4x2 HDMI 2.0 matrix switcher with audio extraction. So if the name sounds complicated, don't worry, I will simplify as much as I can, because although it's a complex device, well built, all metallic enclosure, it's really simple to use. It gives us the possibility to input 4 different HDMI signals and output 2 different HDMI signals. And we also have the audio extraction capability. So a few weeks ago we took a look on a HDMI splitter, which we could use 4 HDMI signals to input, 1 HDMI signal to output. We also took a look on a HDMI extractor, and I will leave some links right over here just in case you want to check that out. But this one right over here packs everything together with the bonus that we have 2 HDMI outputs. Now this is a unit that usually we don't use on our household, because usually we only have one TV on our wall or in our living room, but it is quite useful in a more corporate environment. For example, in a restaurant, in a bar, in a hotel, where we have different displays with different kinds of marketing displays, or even if we want to have on one display a football game, on the other display we want to have the hotel information, and then later on we want to switch from one to the other, this will act like a DJ for our TV. So in that particular case and other cases, this might be very useful, will save us a lot of time, but there are a few things that we need to pay attention. One of which is the audio synchronization, which I did the test and I will share with you in a few moments. So having that in mind, let's take a look at a quick unboxing. So inside the package we will find the OREI matrix switcher, which is right over here. We also have a quick user guide, which is really simple to use. We have 2 supports so we can mount it on a rack. In terms of connectivity, at the back we will find the 4 HDMI inputs, 2 HDMI outputs up to 4K 60 Hz. We have 1 audio optical output, 1 3.5mm jack output. We also have the selector right over here, a micro USB for service, and a DC in. On the front we will find the LED for power, the infrared receiver. Also we have the selector for output A, selector for output B, audio selector for output A and B. We can also downscale from 4K to 1080, and finally we have the ARC HDMI button if we have it on our stereo. And if this sounds too complicated, let's take a look at the practical example. Here we are with the example setup for the OREI 4x2 HDMI 2.0 matrix switcher. And at this moment we've got 4 inputs connected and 2 outputs connected. So this is output A, output B, and we have on the inputs 1 NVIDIA Shield TV, which is right over here, a Apple TV, also a Windows computer and a Mac computer, which I will show you in just a few moments. We are outputting audio through a 3.5mm jack at this moment, but we also have the option to output via optical for a amplifier or a stereo that we have. Now in terms of the interface we already seen, but to see how it works, for example at this moment I can just select the output A interface right over here, output B interface right over here from 1 to 4, 1 to 4. We also have the audio selector, so I can play audio from source A or B, or output A or B to be more precise. We can also downscale the image from 4K to 1080, which we will not need at this moment because we are using 2 4K displays. And lastly, we have the ARC button, so we can activate HDMI ARC in case your stereo has it. So that being said, let's take an example right over here. So if I press this button, I will select the output for the channel A, and if we press again it will go to source number 3, and once it goes, and depending on the device it will take longer or not, and these displays also take quite a bit of time. I have TVs that are quicker to respond, so this delay doesn't have to do with the OREI switcher or the OREI matrix, but with the display itself. So it's on number 4, and if we want to go back to number 1, I just need to press the button once again, and there we go. Now the only limitation that we have right over here is that we will need to cycle through. So if I want to go from 1 to 4, I will need to go between number 2, number 3 until we reach number 4. If we want to bypass this, we will need to use the included remote control, which has the output for channel A, output for channel B, and then the audio selector right over here. So in this example, if I want to jump from 3 to 1, for example, on channel B, if I use the menu, I will have to cycle through, but if I use the remote control and if I press 1, it will change immediately to source 1, and it's displaying at this moment the same image on both displays. So if I want to quickly change this one to number 2, which is the Apple TV 4K, we will have the image right over there. And once again, this delay, it has to do with the displays, which take quite a bit of time, even when we change on the settings of the display to change from one computer to another. But there we go. As an example, if I want to change this one to number 4, we can just press number 4, and that one to number 1, we can change to number 1, and basically this is it. Now let's take a look at the audio test, which there is something really important on this kind of device, which is the audio synchronization. So here we will put a video playing, compress the audio and image, and that it's not good. In this particular case, we will have a real pass-through, so whatever comes in, it will go out up to 4K at 60 Hz, 10-bit video, and all those formats that I already mentioned, and also down below on the video description. So as you can see, this is the audio extractor from OREI that we have seen a couple of weeks ago. But the important message right over here is that we have audio synchronized. There are some devices, cheaper devices, that do not have the audio synchronized, which will ruin the experience. Right over here, we have the audio synchronized, which is exactly what we need for this kind of device. Now, we are playing audio from channel A, but if we select channel B, it's exactly the same content. So let's change the output B to the Apple TV, and let's put right over here also a video. At this moment, we are playing audio from the A side, and right now will give us a lot of options to configure and to use. We are playing audio from the B side. For the first time, I've been using for the past few days only the audio coming out from channel B, and if we select Hey, it will go to the NVIDIA Shield B, and then if I decide to put number 2 right over there, we will have the same audio output, but in this particular case, coming out from channel B. And sorry about that, but just so that you can see live over here that we have image and audio synchronization on all 4 channels. We just need to select which channel we want to extract the audio from, this one or this one, in this particular case A and B. So as you could see, really simple to use. The only downside that I see is with my screens, my displays have a long time in terms of changing from one output to the other. And this I've tested with other TVs that I've got here at home, which are much faster. So just have that in mind. But as we could see, with a press of a button, we can change from one source to the other. And in my opinion, this is exactly a DJ for our multiple displays, for our business, for example, and it works as it does advertising. That being said, hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did so, don't forget the usual thumbs up right over there or over there. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.